Hello everyone, I welcome you all on this YouTube channel, the UPSC TV by RS, and here myself Rahul, and as usual I am going to present the Hindu newspaper for your public administration optional in UPSC CSE and other government examination. So as you know that we are covering the public administration optional current affairs on daily basis. If you are new to this channel, don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel and don't forget to click on the bell icon. Apart from that, for the month of July, the PDF, the public administration current affair magazine PDF is available, and the link for the same is given in the description box. You can download the public administration current affair magazine, and if you want to see the important content in that particular magazine, you can just scroll down on my YouTube videos. You will get the review of that magazine, the teaser, the kind of trailer or whatever you can say. So you will find that thing as well on my YouTube channel only. Okay, so you can download the magazine, and let's get started with the Hindu dated 8th of August 2020, and we are going to cover the public administration optional, as you must be knowing about this thing. Okay, so if you just scroll down, there is no need to scroll down as such, and you will get the news article on the page number 1 in itself. Okay, so here 15 killed as Air India flight skid off Calicut airport runway. So this is the unfortunate incident that has happened over here. So this Calicut incident, Calicut airport runway incident, and apart from that, there is one more article on your page number. In one of the page, you will get this article that from Directorate General of Civil Aviation 2011 report. If you just scroll down and if you just read out this particular news article, 2011 report had flagged unsafe condition at Calicut airport. So basically this particular article is saying that in 2011 itself, as of now we are living in 2020, so in 2011 there was the report from Directorate General of Civil Aviation, and that report was highlighted the problem with respect to the Calicut airport. So basically, let's say this is the runway. So let's say this is the runway. So 200-meter area here and 150-meter area at the, you can say, on the side of runway. So this is a kind of you can say policy recommendation, but at Calicut airport this 200, this standard was not met. It was around 90 meter, and this 150 was around 75 meter in actual practice. So there is a kind of, you can say, there is a kind of difference between what is being, you can say, recommended and what is being actually followed. So this was the problem with respect to the Calicut airport, and this is something that may be considered as one of the greatest or great cause of this entire incident that took place, the unfortunate incident that took place. Okay, so our work is not to cover this kind of understanding, but what you have to understand is the, you can say, airport, or you can say the civil aviation sector. So in civil aviation sector we have to cover the you can say the different regulatory bodies that are there in the civil aviation sector. Why? Because in your public administration optional paper 1, there is one unit called organization, and in that unit called organization you will get subheading or subtopic called regulatory bodies. And when it comes to this news article and this particular happening, we are witnessing the role of Directorate General of Civil Aviation. If you are thorough with the current affairs, if you are covering the current affairs on daily basis with me, then you will find that in the month of July also health sector was in the news, and in that backdrop we have covered the different bodies of, you can say, for the health as well. Okay, for example, because of Baba Ramdev and because of the coronel and all those nitty-gritties, we have the health sector regulator on board. Similarly, we have covered the defense regulators in the current affair magazine of July as well. Okay, so we have covered all the different defense PSUs and other things. Okay, so now today let us try and understand the different regulators of airport, or you can say of aviation sector per se. Okay, so let's cover this thing. So here basically there are different regulators that you need to cover. First of all, the most popular one, if you just try to read out the important important one, you will find this thing. The most important one is DGCA. Okay, so DGCA is not available over here, so let me just give me some time so that I can search it. DGCA. So if you just read out DGCA and we will go to Wikipedia. You can do this exercise by yourself as well. Whenever I would stop this thing, you can do this thing by yourself as well. Okay, so Directorate General of Civil Aviation, what is DGCA? So if you are unable to find, then you can search DGCA in Wikipedia and you will get Directorate General of Civil Aviation. So we are going to cover three bodies: Directorate General of Civil Aviation, we will cover Bureau of Civil Aviation Security, and we will also cover Airport Accident Investigation Bureau. So these are the three bodies that you should know when it comes to these kind of incidents and accidents and all. And then we will also cover this economic regulatory body. The act was in news as well. If you just read out this thing, 27 July 2019, big picture, AERA amendment bill. So airport so the name is Airports Economic Regulatory Authority of India Amendment Bill 2019. So that's why we will cover this thing as well, that what is the economic regulation when it comes to you can say aviation or airport or whatever. Okay, so because it is in the news, so we will cover it as well. Okay, first of all, Directorate General of Civil Aviation. This is the most important body when it comes to civil aviation, when it comes to civil aviation sector in India, when it comes to Ministry of Civil Aviation per se. Okay, so Directorate General of Civil Aviation, it is a statutory body. It is a statutory body that is formed under the Aircraft Amendment Bill 2020. Okay, so earlier it was there, but now it is a statutory body under this Aircraft Amendment Bill 2020. So just try to remember, statutory bodies are good. You can say this is considered as good phenomena or good practice when regulatory bodies becomes statutory body. So you can understand and remember this thing. The Directorate investigate aviation accidents and incidents. So whenever there are aviation incident, this particular body will do the work. Apart from that, headquarter, you will find the headquarter you can say in this particular place. And Government of India is planning to replace the Organization of Civil Aviation Authority, modeled on the lines of American Federal Aviation Administration. So here these are the vision, that it endeavors to promote the safe and efficient air transportation through regulation and proactive safety oversight system. So this is proactive in nature. So you will find that they are regulator, they will give recommendation, they will give the you can say the proper proactive analysis. Okay, for example, there are other bodies like we will cover Aircraft Accident Investigation Bureau, that is not proactive. Okay, so that's why the phenomena or you can say the ambit of this body is larger in you can say extent. And function, very important, remember this thing. First of all, registration of civil aircraft. So whenever there is a registration, whenever there is a aircraft, the registration of aircraft is something that is done by this particular body. Apart from that, certification of airport. Okay, so you can think of different stakeholders in the aviation sector. Okay, airports are there, so certification to airport. Aircrafts are there, so registration of aircrafts. Pilots and other bodies, pilots are there, maintenance engineer, aircraft maintenance engineers are there, air traffic controllers and flight engineers are there, examination conduction is there, and other things. So licensing of these things. Okay, so you can just think of different stakeholders and you will be able to write the points. Okay, apart from that, carrying out the amendment to the Aircraft Act, so the aircraft rule and all those things. So when it comes to the amendment of different things, and amendment to ICAO, International Civil Aviation Organization annexes, and initiating the proposal of amendment to any other act with respect to the aviation sector. So carrying out the amendment in these things is also the responsibility of this body, not directly, but it will recommend, it will suggest to the Government of India that you have to do such kind of thing, because it is a kind of you can say it will give the kind of recommendation and advice to the government, to the Ministry of Civil Aviation, and Ministry of Civil Aviation it will you can say initiate the process of amendment and all those things. Apart from that, formulation of standards of airworthiness of aircraft. So this is something standardization. So you can just understand, for example, in health sector we have CDSCO, that is Central Drug Standard Control Organization. So that particular body is working for the standardization, licensing, registration and all those things with respect to the drugs. Similarly here the standardization, licensing, regulation, registration, certification, all those nitty-gritties are being done by the body called DGCA. So here formulation of standards, standards of what? Standards of airworthiness of aircraft registered in India and certification of airworthiness to such aircraft. Okay, so airworthiness, that whether a particular aircraft is airworthiness is there or not, so standards. Apart from that, conducting investigation. Okay, so these are the proactive measures. Now after the accident or after such kind of unfortunate incident, they have the power to conduct the investigation into those incidents and serious incidents involving aircraft up to 2250 kilogram AUW. These technicalities are not important, just remember that they are conducting the investigation into the incidents as well. Apart from that, checking on the proficiency of flight crew and other operational personnel such as flight dispatchers and cabin crew, so they can do this thing as well. So you can say standardization. Okay, so standardization of aircraft, airport, you can say personnel that are working over there, so you can just understand. Apart from that, the most important thing, coordination of ICAO, that is, if you just read out this thing, International Civil Aviation Organization. What is ICAO? It is a body, it is the specialized body of UN. UN means United Nations. So ICAO, if you just read out about this thing, International Civil Aviation Organization, it is a specialized agency. So in UN you will get different organs, and those different organs will have specialized agencies, and these agencies are accountable to those organs. So ICAO, International Civil Aviation Organization, is a specialized agency of United Nations, and it basically changes the principles and techniques of international air navigation and all the things. Okay, so you can just remember this thing. So ICAO, it coordinates with ICAO means it coordinates with the standard, you can say the bigger body. Okay, so you can just understand that even our administrative thinkers, like if you just read out the administrative thinkers, Gulick was talking about the coordination by hierarchy, coordination by committee, or coordination by ideas. So there is a kind, here we are witnessing the kind of coordination by you can say committees kind of thing. Okay, so you can just write link like this. Okay, so arising out of the Universal Safety Organization audit program and all those things. Apart from that, it grants the air operator certificate to Indian carriers and all those things, approval to the institution and approval to aircraft maintenance. It is the nodal agency for implementation of different annexes of ICAO as well. Okay, so it is the nodal agency for implementing the you can say the different India provisions in India, and for coordinating matters relating to the facilitation of airport and all those things. Now the points are very generic, you can just remember that it is a regulatory body. This is enough to understand over here. Apart from that, there are different departments. These things are important for your prelims. Okay, you can read out the different things, that what are the departments and what are the things for the extra, you can say, knowledge. A regional office, so DGCA has 14 regional office, not important for mains as such. Just remember that there is a body called DGCA, which is a statutory body, and it is functioning for the, you can say, coordination with ICAO. It is functioning for certification, licensing, registration, standardization and all those things. And you can link these things. For example, when it comes to standardization, you can link with FW Taylor. When it comes to registration, etc., all these things are important for your organizational perspective. Okay, apart from that, there is another body called Aircraft Accident Investigation Bureau, India. So India is something, means it is coming under the Indian ambit, that's why. So remember AAIB, so this was DGCA. DGCA is the most important body. Apart from that, there is one more body called Aircraft Accident Investigation Bureau. Aircraft Accident Investigation Bureau. So if you just read DGCA, DGCA is very broad in size. Okay, you will find even investigation is done by DGCA, but now here you can say that this is only the investigative body. It is a division, it is a kind of AAIB is a division of Ministry of Civil Aviation, Government of India, and which investigates aircraft accident and incidents. Okay, and apart from that, earlier Directorate General of Civil Aviation conduct investigation. Okay, so we have seen this thing, and investigation established by the Court of Inquiry and Committee Inquiry. Okay, those things were the part of DGCA. A separate investigation agency was established to comply with the standards and recommended practices of the International Civil Aviation Organization. So because of hijacking, because of different you can say kind of you can say incidents and all those things, so because of this standard and recommended practices of ICAO, because of this particular thing, this body has been created for the specialization. So you can link this particular thing with your specialization. Okay, for example, if you read the principles of administration, 14 principle of Henry Fayol, if you read the 14 principles of Henry Fayol, what you will find? You will find that there is a kind of division of work. Okay, division of work is one of the principle, because division of work will bring specialization. So it is the kind of Henry Fayol linkage. Similarly, you can talk about Gulick and Urvik. They were talking about departmentalization. Okay, person, place, process, and all those things. So this is the kind of, you can say, on the basis of process we are basically determining this another body. So you can link like this with your static portion of your thinkers. Okay, I hope you are getting even other thinkers. So this you will find in every thinker who is talking about the general principle of management, be it Gulick, Urvik or Henry Fayol. Okay, so just try to remember this thing, just try to link like this. Apart from that, you will find one more body. So let's read about this body as well. Bureau of Civil Aviation Security. So here Bureau of Civil Aviation Security, BCAS, it is the attached office. This is not the statutory body. Remember this thing, it is the attached office in your Ministry of Civil Aviation, and it is a regulatory authority for civil aviation security in India. Remember this thing. DGCA is also working for investigation, for licensing, registration, certification and whatnot, but here again there is a kind of departmentalization, there is a kind of specialization, there is a kind of division of work. So all the thinkers you can link. So here it is specifically for security. Okay, AAIB is specifically for investigation, and DGCA is very broad body. So here it is a kind of regulatory authority for the security. It is headed by the officer rank of Directorate General of Police and is designated, and all those things are not important for your mains examination. Just remember these things for your prelims examination. Apart from that, Chicago Convention. Chicago Convention, basically Chicago Convention was nothing but the kind of convention that basically established this ICAO as a UN specialized agency. Okay, so this is it. I hope you are getting. So it is with respect to security, AAIB is with respect to investigation, and DGCA is a very broad body. We have covered this thing. Apart from that, there is one more current affair that is going on in the context, AERA amendment bill. What is this AERA? We have covered the investigation body, we have covered the regulatory body, general regulatory body, DGCA. We have covered the regulatory body with respect to the security called Bureau of Civil Aviation Security. Now this is the economic regulatory body. Okay, as the name suggests, Rajya Sabha has passed the Airports Economic Regulatory Authority of India Amendment Bill 2019 that seeks to raise the threshold of airport to qualify the major airport, and hence reducing the tariff fixing power of airport regulator to a fewer airports. Okay, so basically what you have to understand, first of all, Airports Economic Regulatory Authority. Just read out this thing first of all. Initially what happened, that Airport Authority of India was running and managing all the airports, but after some time there was a change that is being made in the civil aviation policy of India, and private players came into picture, and they are also given airports to run, and that's why the ambit of Airport Authority of India, it gets reduced, and typically airport run and all those monopoly, all those things. So because of all these things, because of the entry of private sector, Airport Economic Regulatory Authority Act was passed in 2008. So it was formed in 2008. AERA was formed in 2008 because of this particular, you can say, change and entry of private sector. And what was the role of AERA? AERA was set up keeping in mind that the country needs to have an independent regulator who has transparent rules and can care of the interest of the service provider. देखो सीधी सी बात है, अगर प्राइवेट कर दोगे तो महंगा हो जाएगा ना, चीज़ें महंगी हो जाएंगी. सो to basically cap that particular thing, in 2008 this body was created to basically regulate the pricing. Okay, for example, in health sector, in case of drugs and all, we have National Pharmaceutical Pricing Authority of India. Okay, National Pharmaceutical Pricing Authority. why we have this body? क्योंकि बाद में क्या हुआ, वो हमने जैसे ही वो चीज़ें FDI वगैरह खोल दी और ये सारी चीज़ें की, सो इस वजह से इंटरनेशनल इन्फ्लुएंस और इस तरीके से चीज़ें, दवाइयों के दाम महंगे ना हो जाएं. सो दैट्स व्हाई वी हैव क्रिएटेड ए नेशनल फार्मास्यूटिकल प्राइसिंग अथॉरिटी ऑफ इंडिया. सिमिलरली हियर वी हैव क्रिएटेड एयरपोर्ट इकोनॉमिक रेगुलेटरी अथॉरिटी ऑफ इंडिया एक्ट 2008, and we have created AERA as a body to manage this thing. And apart from that, airports having, here the provision is important, airport having traffic above 15 lakh passengers are called as the major airport, and they will come under the purview of AERA. So if AERA will cover only those airport which has the traffic of more than 15 lakh passenger. This is the ambit of the original initial act of 2008. Okay, and airport which will come under this 15 lakh. Okay, so above 15 lakh means AERA will regulate the amount and all those things. If the passenger are less than 15 lakh, then Airport Authority of India will, you can say, they will continue to regulate the pricing and all those things. So AERA regulate tariff and other charges, development fee, passenger service fee for aeronautical service, air traffic management, landing and packing of aircraft, ground handling services at major airports. So the crux is, what is the crux of this news article, this particular topic? AERA will regulate the things for major airport. What is the meaning of major airport? 15 लाख से ज़्यादा, वो जो बैंक अकाउंट में 15 लाख आने थे 2014 इलेक्शन के बाद, वो वाले नहीं, 2014 के इलेक्शन के बाद जो आने थे वो वाले 15 लाख नहीं, ये दूसरे 15 लाख हैं. ओके, सो 15 लाख पैसेंजर, यू कैन जस्ट रिमेंबर. नाउ व्हाट इज हैपनिंग इन दिस AERA amendment bill 2019, that now they are going to change this 15 lakh to 35 lakh. Now 35 lakh will be the kind of threshold. Above 35 lakh AERA will come into picture, less than 35 lakh Airport Authority of India will remain in the picture. So it is creating the kind of threshold which is a new threshold, in which you can say the ambit of AERA, the purview of AERA, the kind of role of AERA will reduce. Okay, so just try to remember this thing. And apart from that, the bill also adds that AERA will not determine tariff structure or development fee in certain cases. And in 35 lakh plus also, there you can say there are certain exemption as well, that these cases like tariff amount where a part of bid document on the basis of airport operations was awarded. So there are certain exceptional cases as well. So there are certain points in the favor and there are certain points in against. Okay, so this is for general studies. You have to remember that there is a body called airport. Means for general studies you have to read about this amendment, that what is going on and whether it is being passed by the parliament or not. But for your public administration, just remember this body, AERA economic regulation, BCAS for the security regulation. For general regulation we have the general body called DGCA, the body with very broad ambit, and there is another body for the investigation, Airport Accident Investigation Bureau. Okay, so these are the things that you should keep in your mind when it comes to this kind of article, when it comes to the civil aviation. So today we have covered the entire regulation of civil aviation in a very detailed manner. Apart from that, what are the other news articles that you have to read with respect to the Hindu, dated this 8th of July, so 8th of August, sorry. So here one more news article is Karnataka's COVID-19 purchases under lens. So you have to read this article as well. So CAG is basically, CAG is likely to look into the issue. So as of now the news is not, you can say, it is not a kind of you can say complete news, it is a kind of news that is going on. So CAG likely to look into the issue, but the crux is that you should be thorough with the thing that these are the things that you can write in your financial administration as example. Okay, so whether CAG is no matter CAG is going into it or not, the thing that you should keep in your mind that CAG has the authority to do these kind of things. Okay, and apart from that, you can also mention it as the mention when it comes to the role of public account committee. Okay, so CAG and public account committee, you can use these things in your answer writing, and these are the things that you should keep in your mind when it comes to you can say this body, this topic of financial administration. Or you can also use it when it comes to accountability and control of your public administration paper 1. Okay, so in both the cases you can use the, you can say, the role of CAG to ensure the accountability, and to be more precise, this accountability is financial accountability. So in this way you can link it with two topics, but you can say in particular you can link it with accountability and control, the role of CAG in ensuring the accountability and to manage and to maintain the control of the, you can say, parliament over the expenditure and whatnot. Okay, so this is it for the day. I hope you are getting the important news articles that are relevant for your public administration optional. And if you want to have the entire understanding of your July public administration current affairs, you can download the current affair magazine given in the description box. Okay, so this is it for the day. Thank you so much and have a nice day, and don't forget to give your feedback in the comment section. I don't know whether you are liking my approach to cover the entire general studies, the entire topics from Wikipedia and all those things. Okay, I don't know, मुझे नहीं पता आपको पसंद आ रहा है कि नहीं आ रहा, मुझे नहीं पता आपको ये 30 मिनट जो आपके यहाँ पे मेरी वजह से वेस्ट हो रहे हैं वो आपको पसंद आ रहे हैं कि नहीं आ रहे हैं. सो प्लीज़ गिव द फीडबैक इन द कमेंट सेक्शन कि पसंद आ रहा है, पसंद नहीं आ रहा है, प्रीलिम्स की तैयारी करनी है तो क्या मैं बंद कर दूं, अगर ये इसको कंटिन्यू रखना है तो आपको पसंद आ रहा है तो कितना पसंद आ रहा है. सो गिव योर फीडबैक इन द कमेंट सेक्शन. दिस इज़ इट फॉर द डे. थैंक यू सो मच एंड हैव अ नाइस डे. बाय बाय, टेक केयर. डोंट फॉरगेट टू सब्सक्राइब टू दिस YouTube channel. Bye bye.